Thanks for tuning in to Live from the Theater Basement. I'm Theatricals Executive Director Chris Verrill. Hey, we've got a little bit of a change of plans. For those of you who are tuning in for the NAU Theater Department, we're going to reschedule that for a later date. Look forward to having them join us. Today, we're going to talk about Route 66 to the Grand Canyon, a new show. What is that new show? Well, you're going to get a chance to find out. All that comes your way at 7:30 right here on Live from the Theater Basement. Stay with us. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Live from the Theater Basement. I'm Theatricos Executive Director Chris Verrill. We'll get started with the show at 7:30, so stay with us for that. Tonight we'll be interviewing Michael Rulon, who wears lots of hats. Michael Rulon, who is a producer for Live from the Theater Basement, is an associate producer for Route 66 to the Grand Canyon. We'll be talking about that in just a little bit. For those of you who have tuned in to get an update on the NAU Theater Department, we're going to do that show a little bit later. In addition to thanking Michael, we want to thank all the good folks who helped make Live from the Theater Basement happen. We want to welcome Jamie Hasapis as a new crew member on the show. Welcome, Jamie. And if you would like Jamie, to join the crew of the show, we have secured funding for Live from the Theater Basement, and we are recruiting volunteers. We are doing things like, that graphics that you see at the beginning of the show. Well, what you're seeing there is a placeholder graphic, not the final graphic. It was done wonderfully, but quickly. We'll be updating things like that. We'll be on with the show in just a few moments. Today on Live from the Theater Basement, we interview Michael Rulon, associate producer of Route 66 to the Grand Canyon. What is Route 66 to the Grand Canyon, I hear you cry? Well, now you're going to get a chance to find out. Live from the Theater Basement, streaming live on Sunday evenings at 7:30 p.m. and available wherever you get your podcast, is a production of Theatricos Theater Company, in partnership with Northern Arizona Playwriting Showcase and Deuteron Films.
Flagstaff Arts and Leadership Academy's mission is to provide a transformative educational experience by cultivating arts, science, and humanities, and developing leadership. Small class sizes, college prep curriculum, ages 7 to 12. Flagstaff Arts Leadership Academy.
Our interviewer today is Theatricos Artistic Committee co-chair Amelia Swan. Live from the Theater Basement with Route 66 to the Grand Canyon.
Hi, Chris. Happy to be here. Thank you so much. Today I am interviewing the delightful and ever-enchanting Michael Rulon, associate producer of Route 66 to the Grand Canyon. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Are you faring well in these crazy times?
I am, and I am certainly keeping myself busy.
Excellent. Well, that's not news to anyone who knows you. All right, well, jumping right in. So tell us a little bit about what is Route 66 to the Grand Canyon?
It's a lot of things rolled into one. It's a play, about an hour long, a comedy, that we have commissioned. It's intended to serve several different functions. We want to bring more robust programming to Theatricos. We also want to bring tourists into our theater. This is a show that's specifically geared towards tourists, although it could certainly appeal to a much broader audience than that. And this is something that a lot of tourist towns do. A lot of theaters in tourist towns will have a play that's designed for tourists. And it's not just designed to benefit Theatricos, but it's also designed to benefit all of Flagstaff. If tourists stick around an extra day to see a show, they'll also spend an extra night in a hotel, they'll go out to restaurants more, they'll do more shopping. So this is something that's designed to stimulate both the theater and the downtown together.
Can you talk a little bit about how it was conceived, kind of what the process has been so far?
Yes. The concept was first raised by Chris Verrill, the executive director of the theater, and he discussed it with the artistic committee at Theatricos, as well as a lot of stakeholders in Flagstaff. We came up with a vision for what the show should be. We put together a call for proposals and distributed that to a very wide list of playwrights that we know. We reached out to a lot of playwrights who have been involved with the Northern Arizona Playwriting Showcase. We went through all those proposals and picked a few that we selected to ask the playwrights for a sample of a few pages of how they conceived the play looking. And we worked with those, we looked through them, we had many long discussions, and we finally settled on Will Cordero as the playwright. He's submitted a few drafts, we've had workshops, we've had readings on Zoom, and now we're working on tightening up the script so that we can start working on presenting it to the public.
And how long has this whole process been so far?
Oh, goodness. At least a year. I forget exactly when it started. But I think it started early 2019.
Wow.
So,
And
yeah,
what
about a
kind
year.
of what kind of support has this project received so far?
We have received a lot of support from different organizations in Flagstaff and different businesses. We've had a lot of help from actors and playwrights in the area who have joined the committee to read the script, evaluate it, give feedback, work on staged readings on Zoom, which was not our ideal platform, but it's still been a lot of fun seeing the script come to life. So it's been a real group effort.
Sounds amazing. You kind of touched on it with the Zoom, but can you talk a little bit more about how the whole pandemic has affected this project? If it's had any major complications, anything like that?
It definitely created a bit of a hiccup. We had a pretty tight schedule for the project, and now with uncertainty about when theaters are going to open, we're not sure quite what our timeline's going to be. But we're still moving forward. We haven't been able to do proper staged readings for the public yet. We haven't even been able to do proper staged readings for the committee. We've been doing them via Zoom, but fortunately we had some really amazing actors who were able to bring the characters to life and find the humor in the script and really give it energy and help us see what the strengths of the script were and what things we still need to work on. But we're unsure about the timeline. We're hoping that we can still bring it to the public sometime within the next year, but that all depends on safety issues and health issues and things that we don't have a crystal ball to figure out.
Don't really have control over, unfortunately.
No,
Yeah,
but
everything's very uncertain.
yeah,
Um,
but
Can you tell us a little bit about plot, or maybe a little bit of what it's about, or is it too soon to divulge any
Oh,
of that information?
I can give you an overview. It's a story that's set in Flagstaff and the Flagstaff region because it is designed to drive tourism and stimulate the northern Arizona economy, particularly Flagstaff. We've got a couple of characters. We're still playing around with the names, but it's an uncle and nephew pair who are dealing with some personal issues and trying to figure out where they're going in life. And as they're on a road trip, they encounter some interesting characters and have some crazy hijinks that eventually take them to the Grand Canyon. And of course, it ends with a happy ending because that's what you want when you're on vacation. But we're, like I said, we're still working on tweaking the script a little bit. And some minor details might change, but it's a really, really funny script. And we laugh nonstop during the workshopping meetings. It's an absolute blast, and we hope that audiences will enjoy it as much as we are.
Sounds like a lot of fun. What are the next steps?
Well, we're finishing up the script workshopping. We actually have a meeting later this week, and then once we feel that the script is really tight and ready to show to the Flagstaff community and the Flagstaff business community, we'll ideally have a staged reading in the theater. And then we will select a director. There will be a casting process, and the show will be performed regularly in the theater and possibly in other venues as well. We designed it so that it can travel. So we might take it to local schools. We might take it to other towns in northern Arizona. We're hoping that we can even take it to the South Rim. So we'll see where it goes, literally.
So if people want to find out more about what's going on, keep updated if they're interested in auditioning or just coming to see it whenever it eventually is able to open, where can they find that information?
It will definitely be posted on the Theatricos website and the Theatricos Facebook page. And as we get closer, I would say that people can also reach out to us at theater@theatricos.com.
Well, great. Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, Michael. As always, it is a pleasure talking to you. And I
Likewise.
very much look forward to being in the audience for Route 66 to the Grand Canyon. And thank you so much. Chris, back to you.
The Theater Basement is a production of Theatricos Theater Company. Today's interviewer, Theatricos Artistic Committee co-chair Amelia Swan. Thank you very much, Amelia. Today's interviewee, our guest, is associate producer Michael Rulon from Route 66 to the Grand Canyon. Michael Rulon, along with Linda Sotera, also the producer of this show. There's nothing that guy can't do. Live from the Theater Basement, engineer Matt Brewer, associate producers Virginia Brown and John Propster, dramaturgy, Theatricos Artistic Committee, playwright selection, Northern Arizona Playwriting Showcase, executive producer Chris Verrill. Theatricos Theater Company, Flagstaff, Arizona is the theater company of Northern Arizona and the Grand Canyon, embracing the spirit of Broadway with such shows as Matilda, Legend of George McBride, and Little Shop of Horrors. Live from the Theater Basement is a new show, currently in previews during our world health crisis and scheduled to launch in a few months. If you, as a listener viewer, have input, or if you'd like to join the volunteer crew, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at theater@theatricos.com.
Dr. Patrick Cole and the plastic surgeons of Northern Arizona and the Hand Center of Northern Arizona. Dr. Patrick Cole, reconstructive and orthopedic hand surgeon.
Live from the theater basement, streaming live on Sunday evenings at 7:30 p.m. and available wherever you get your podcasts, is funded in part by the Flagstaff Arts Council, #CreativeFlagstaff, Arizona Community Foundation, and listener viewers like you. I'm your host, Chris Verrill. Thanks for joining us for Live from the Theater Basement. This is Theatricos. Up next on Live from the Theater Basement, we present the 10-minute short play Audition Anna Bumby by NAP's award-winning playwright Eric Davigi. You will have the privilege of being present for Anna Bumby's very first audition. Let's hope it goes smoothly. Timmy Tombaugh, Hollywood's first great talkie director, is notorious for being a hard audience to please. Audition Anna Bumby next week, live, Sundays at 7:30 p.m. and wherever you get your podcasts.